What's up, Bears fans? Ben Johnson just wrapped up interviews at the owners and coaches meetings down in Florida. We're going to talk everything about from Caleb Williams, the draft, and Ben Johnson's obsession with slot receivers. Plus, he's ready throwing shade at the rest of the NFC North. And you just love to see that he's off to a hot start down in Florida. It's cool to see a coach who's actually willing to talk about different prospects, talk about the draft, talk about the process, but let's get into it right now with the Claws Up, Bear Down show. Ben Johnson was keeping it pretty vague about who the Bears were trying to select at number 10, whether it could be offense or it could be defense. It really just coach speak. It's normal coach speak. But really, it just translates into we're trying to keep the other teams guessing. With the Bears' offseason moves, making trade in the offensive line for Jonah Jackson and Joe Thuney, the Bears really keep their options open. At the signing of Drew Dalman as well. Before the offseason, the Bears fans and Chicagoland really believed that it was only offensive line. But picking up and bolstering that offensive line really gives the Bears a lot of options at number 10. And the interviewers were able to get some more information out of them as they started prying. When asked about whether or not the 3 first picks, number 10 and then the 2 picks in the second round, needed to be starters, Ben Johnson said, that's the plan, but it's not guaranteed. He said that love a good old competition. So they're really going to push to make sure these guys are being pushed and having depth in the room. No one's guaranteed anything, but obviously as Bears fans, we'd love to see those top 3 picks end up going to be starters this season, impacting this season. Let's be real. If the first 3 picks aren't starters, at least this year or next year, it's going to be a problem in Chicago. We'd love to see the number 10 pick, in my opinion, has to be a starter, impact player right now. And there are a bunch of options out there, and there are 3 of them that I really think are real possibilities based on the way mock drafts are happening. The 3 draft prospects who I think the Bears could really be targeting at that number 10 spot are 1, Will Campbell, the left tackle from LSU, 2, Ashton Jeanty from Boise State, and number 3, Tyler Warren, the tight end out of Penn State. When Ben Johnson was asked about the best part of being the Bears head coach, he really made it cookie cutter answer here, but he said being in the building, being with the staff, and being with Ryan. But bro, you just got your head coaching job, your very first head coaching job in the greatest city in the world, in Chicago. Can we at least get this man in front of the lakefront, get him to a Wrigley Field bleacher game, give this man some deep dish, maybe a Polish sausage, something. It's Chicago, man. It's not just about the staff. I like the answer. I'm excited that he's about the work, about the business, but it's your dream job, man. You're a head coach in the NFL. Be excited about getting going. They get guys there on Monday. April 7th, they're allowed to have guys there because Ben Johnson is his first year as a head coach. Be excited about that process. I know he's deep in his work. You can tell in his eyes this guy is driven, but I'd love to see him actually talking about the team and being excited to work with everyone involved. Obviously, his relationship with the owners and with the GM, Ryan Poles, is super important for the progress of the team. And right now, what just like everyone else is talking about, like I'm talking about right now, the draft process, who they're picking at number 10, is very important for the Bears. Ben Johnson was also asked about if he expects to see any growing pains out of Caleb Williams. One of the things he said that he's going to be under center a lot more. The plan is to have play action, have more rollouts, and so being under center is not a position that Caleb's very comfortable in. He played for Lincoln Riley, and Lincoln Riley ran a lot of shotgun. So he expects to see growing pains as the season goes on. Coach also talked about that the offense depends on Caleb Williams' progress through the system. Everything that he's doing, Ben Johnson, is going to be based on what Caleb is good at. Obviously, we're just talked about, he's going to force him to be under center more. He's going to force more play action. He's going to tailor make the offense for Caleb Williams to ascend up the ranks and be a much better quarterback in the long run. Ben Johnson's coaching mind is an interesting place. Ben was asked about what his favorite position is to scheme up, and he said slot receiver. That means that DJ Moore, our guy, DJ Moore, is going to eat. I know that DJ's a 1, but he plays a lot in the slot. So I think that they're going to be really trying to get after him and let him get the ball a lot more. He also was asked about what the hardest thing to scheme up against, and he said that a good defensive tackle and the guard matchup is really important to see how the offense can run, and that is something that he sees as a challenge that he welcomes, but a challenge nonetheless that he has to focus on, and one that is a really difficult one and a challenge that's really difficult for him to kind of scheme up. It's great to see that they got a all-pro player in Joe Thuney to play on the left side, and then Jonah Jackson, all they've talked about is how great Jonah Jackson is. It seems that him and Ben Johnson from Detroit have a really great relationship, and Ben Johnson really believes in that right guard in that position. That interior line has really been melded together, and they should be in a really good spot going forward. Ben Johnson was asked about Jahmyr Gibbs specifically, and the reason why the interviewer was asked about Jahmyr Gibbs was to ask about Genty. That's really the question. And what Ben Johnson saw in Jahmyr Gibbs that made them believe that they should draft Gibbs so early. At the time, if the Detroit Lions were questioned for picking a running back that early in the game, Jahmyr Gibbs has ended up being a huge player in their offense. One of the things that Ben Johnson said is that he loves dynamic playmakers at running back. He didn't think about him just as a runner. He thought about him as a receiver as well. Ben really wants a game changer at running back. It screams Genty. Screams Genty. There's a lot of people in Chicagoland screaming for Genty to be picked at number 10. And it seems like a Ben Johnson type of guy. Ben Johnson was also specifically asked about Tyler Warren, the tight end from Penn State. He's the best tight end in the draft. That's clear. He had a stellar year last year at Penn State. And he's someone that could really be a game changer. Ben Johnson likes to run a lot of 2 tight end fronts. So with Cole Kmet on one, who I love a Chicago kid on the Bears, he's not as dynamic as a Tyler Warren. He can't be the same type of player Tyler Warren can in the future. Picking a Tyler Warren at number 10 could be awesome. Could be absolutely be awesome. But when he was talking about Tyler Warren, he absolutely gushed about Tyler Warren. It seems like Ben Johnson really, really likes Tyler Warren. And the way he talked about him, for me, it feels like this is a guy that they could be targeting. They could be targeting a tight end at number 10. Tyler Warren would be the guy. I'd be ecstatic about Tyler Warren. One of the things Ben talked about too is his ability to play different positions, play wildcat, play fullback, play in the slot receiver, play tight end, run blocking. It's a very dynamic player. And it relates back to how we thought about running back. Tyler Warren can do it all. These are guys you want to keep trying to find these type of dudes on the Bears. You want to keep building that depth. Ben Johnson was specifically asked about the NFC North trash talk that's already happening. Jahmyr Gibbs gave a nice little teaser, a little quote, and it said, "We about to be on that ass" from Detroit Lions. I like the banter back and forth already. In Ben Johnson's opening press conference, he talked about Matt LaFleur specifically. Matt LaFleur came out today and said he thought that, Ben was just playing to the fans, and Matt LaFleur and Ben Johnson don't have a relationship prior to this. We always want to talk crap about the Green Bay Packers. Anytime you kind of ruffle those feathers a little bit, anytime you kind of poke the hornet's nest, big thumbs up, double thumbs up, big claws up for me. Bears fans, it's about to have a coach who's ready to clap back. It's about time. It's about time. We've had these boring guys out here who weren't willing to say anything or weren't willing to talk shit and weren't willing to have intensity on the sideline. And Ben Johnson seems like a dude who is going to take no shit from anybody. Nothing. And I love that about him so far. He seems intense. He seems like a hard worker. Seems like a dude ready to get after people. Seems like a guy who's going to keep guys accountable in and out every single day. What more can you ask for? We've had wet blankets as head coaches for years now. I love it. I love the way the dude is open to talk about these different prospects. I love the way he's able to talk to the media. Now, is it too much talking? Is it too much talking, Chicago? I don't know. I like talking. I like talking smack. I like being able to talk to the camera and then come up with different ideas here and really think about letting it rip. And I think Ben Johnson's going to let it rip. We'll see in the long run, if it's too much talk, if it needs to keep stuff close to the vest, who knows? But the division's going to get spicy. It's going to get spicy. It's going to get spicy between fans. It's going to get spicy between coaches. It's going to get spicy between players. It's nice. It's nice to feel like the Bears are in a position to talk shit a little bit. And I don't care about the record last year. That was a terrible coaching staff, terrible offensive staff. I care about this year. I care about going forward. I care about what it looks like in the future. This is a division that's super exciting. It's awesome that Ben Johnson was willing to stay in division, willing to go to the best situation possible and be the head coach for the Chicago Bears. One of the last things that Ben Johnson was asked about was offensive lineman's arm length. Does he care? And the reason why is because of Will Campbell's arm length has come into question. The general consensus is that you want offensive linemen or offensive tackle with 33-inch arms. And Will Campbell's arms are 32 inches and 3/8. So we're talking about 5/8 of an inch. I wish I had, what's 5/8 of an inch? That's the difference? That's the difference right there? Just that little bit. So we're talking about, it's just that much. Boys and girls, it's just that much. And I'm not really worried about that much. If Will Campbell's a guy at number 10, Will Campbell's a guy at number 10, you put him in and start at the left tackle right away. You protect the blind side of Caleb Williams. That's a no-brainer to me. But when he was asked about it specifically, Ben Johnson said he's more interested in the tape than he is the measurables. So this dude isn't worried about the Excel spreadsheet. He's not worried about, oh, you're this tall, you're this long, you're this big, you can jump this far. He's like, what does the tape say? And Will Campbell's tape says that he's a pretty damn good football player. And if the Bears are lucky enough to have a guy drop down, you got to pick the meat and potatoes. It doesn't always have to be dessert. Tyler Warren, Genty, dessert, delicious dessert. Will Campbell's meat and potatoes, steak, ribeye, medium rare, delicious. Guy right there protecting Caleb Williams, especially after giving up 68 sacks last year. How could you turn a guy like that away? It doesn't make any sense to just let a guy like that go by. Will Campbell's arm length is not going to be a determining factor for the Bears and Ryan Poles and Ben Johnson. It's about the tape, and the tape looks pretty good. I'm not a film nut. I'm not a film expert here, but from what I've understood from the guys who do know, Baldy out here saying he has great feet, he's got great hands, he's able to reset his steps, and that Will Campbell will be a great pick at number 10 for the Chicago Bears. But Ben Johnson made it clear he's not just picking guys because they have an Inspector Gadget arms. He's not worried about that. Worry about the film. Worry about the tape. Worry about the work. And Will Campbell's from LSU, man, deep in the SEC. He has played some of the toughest competition year in, year out. He is a guy that I'd love to see in a Bears uniform. He would look great in navy and burnt orange. One thing to know for sure is that Ben Johnson is locked. This man is locked in. He's locked in the film room. He's locked in a dark closet. He got down to go to Florida, a little sunshine. He had some awesome things to say at the meetings and during the interviews. Well, and you can really see how the Bears team is taking shape. Really, it's starting to come together. The offensive line is built. You have the quarterback. You have a couple talented wide receivers in Rome Odunze and DJ Moore. There's the draft prospects. Any of those three guys, Tyler Warren, Genty, or Will Campbell, will be awesome at number 10. And I think that, those guys, especially Tyler Warren, man. Tyler Warren, game changer for sure. What do you guys think about his comments? How do you think the Bears are coming together? Let me know in the comments below. If you like the video, smash that subscribe button, drop a like, drop some comments. Thanks for watching. Watch another video, watch a game day vlog. Claws up, bear down.